Digital photography made simple.
Segment of Digital One-to-One. I'd like to discuss with you today the white balance feature on our cameras. Now, most of the time when we have our cameras, we always keep them set to auto mode. And in auto mode or automatic mode setting, our cameras have what's known as an automatic white balance, or what we might see on the function key as AWB. Now you might say, what is white balance? Well, basically it's how the camera sees color and how it sees color in our pictures. So for instance, did you ever get prints back where you see dramatic changes of color and you know that's not what you saw? That's because your camera was looking at the light differently than the way we see, or your camera was set to the improper setting. Now, we take for granted these changes between indoor and outdoor lighting, or cloudy days or sunny days. And yet this all becomes extremely distinctive to our camera and how it sees color. Try not to be confused by all this technical talk, because it's really easy. But remember, if auto mode was so great, why do they keep giving us manual? Because we can be creative with manual. For instance, in the manual mode, we set the auto white balance up for indoor lighting and we take it outside, our pictures become this beautiful blue tone. And in reverse, if we set it for outdoor lighting and bring it inside, we get a beautiful orange glow. Let me show you two examples of these lighting conditions right now. Okay, now here are two samples. Now, in our manual modes, in our white balance, these two dramatic samples are used when we want to create a more moody type image or feeling in our pictures. Now remember, our first one here, we have the camera set for the indoor lighting and we shot it outside. And the opposite image here, we have it set for outside and shot inside. Now in order to see the true color changes, look into the highlights and notice on our left side we have a bluish tone, and our right side image we have a more orange tone. These are the dramatic changes that we can make. And remember, you do this manually, you do this for creative purposes to put mood into your shots. Let me get you our camera and show you how to get to these features, how to use them as corrective tools, and how to be creative with them. Okay, here we have our camera and it's in set automatic mode. Now, your functions may be different than mine, but you're going to look for the white balance or the AWB in your function, as when we press here. However, in automatic mode, we can't get to the tools, but you'll notice here it's a little grayed out. But it's still AWB, and that will probably be on most cameras. Okay, now to get creative, we're going to go into manual. And here, we hit our function key again, and now we see that our white balance feature, or auto white balance feature, is lit up. Now in manual and in automatic mode, the auto white balance is pretty similar. But in order to get to the changes, we go here again, and notice we have new tools across the bottom. We have daylight, cloudy, indoor lighting, and fluorescent lighting. Now the other two on the end are more customized, more advanced. That'll be another segment. So let's move on. We have our daylight. A slight difference than the auto white balance, but sometimes in skin tones can make a difference when you're taking pictures outside. Next one is going to be our cloudy day. Now notice all of a sudden that our beautiful whites got even warmer. That's because on cloudy days, it's mostly the sky has a more bluish gray tone, so the camera warms it up for you. Now, if we take our indoor setting and go outside, notice how our whites and grays got bluer. That's if you want to go into those moody settings that I'm going to give you some ideas for later on. And in our fluorescent setting, because fluorescent lights tend to be more green, the camera throws a little bit more reddish tones in there, or magenta tones. So for you to be more creative, this is how you get to your auto white balance. So have fun with this, and I want you to experiment with these. Now let's keep going on with our segment and learn a little bit more about seeing some samples. Hey, remember this, one great shot is worth way more than a dozen so-so pictures. And it's using tools like we've showed you, the white balance. Remember, go into manual mode, be creative, be a little bit more advanced for your own creativity and better than your friends. You know, let me leave you with some ideas here. Beautiful mountain landscapes with snow-capped mountains, ocean fronts, or you're at an aquarium with your family. These are places where blue is the prominent color. And to even enhance that, take that indoor setting. Remember that little light bulb symbol on the white balance function in manual mode. Take that setting and use it outdoors. Now that's the extreme color. You can play with the other ones too. And in reverse, use the daylight. That's the symbol of the sun. Bring it inside and take a shot of your favorite grandparent or your best friend reading a book by a lamp. And you get those beautiful moods and that nice orange tone. Be creative. Go for the moods. Go for the extremes. Have fun. But experiment with all of them. So for more tips like this, where you can have fun with your camera in manual mode, look to Digital 1-to-1.